Welcome, everybody, back to the Nerds with Chainsaws podcast. We are your hosts, Dalton Wright and Brett Trogemeyer.
How's it going?
Start off today, as promised. I have brought a different drink than the last three times.
No more Hogarden?
No more Hogarden. Probably ever. Getting it open here since it's a variety pack, so I gotta choose which one I want. Have you ever heard of long drink?
I have. I've heard they're pretty good. I've never tried one though.
So I learned of this drink from Finland, from a golfing YouTube channel, believe it or not. I'll find their name here while I'm talking, but learned after the fact that it is endorsed by Miles Teller.
Nice.
It's like his favorite thing. He is basically shooting part of a movie in Finland or something, and he asked for a drink, beer, and the Finnish people there are just like, here you go. Here's a long drink. It's our beer. I don't even think it's a beer. It might be a seltzer. Or does it say on the packet? What are you actually? I think it's a seltzer, which I'm usually not one for seltzers. Gin with natural. Okay, it's carbonated. That's all it fucking tells me.
I'd have to drive like an hour to get to the nearest store that actually has any of those. Damn.
Oh, well, all of the stores here only have variety packs, except for apparently tomorrow. Because that's to do at the counter. I was like, yo, this is the place that we got our stogies from.
Ah,
like,
yes. That's a pretty cool place.
It is. That's what I thought. Maybe they'd just have it normally. And I was like, do you guys have any of the non-variety pack ones? And the guy and lady are just like, funny you say that, because no, until 8 o'clock tomorrow. Like, that's fucking stupid. Guess I'm getting the variety pack again. But anyway, they like refused to give Miles Teller an American beer. They would only give him long drink. And so eventually he was like, fine, I'll fucking drink it. I took a drink out of it and he was like, God damn, that's good. In the finish, like we told you. And then he basically just went, y'all want a spokesperson?
I don't want this shit. Take sip. Oh, wait. Hang on.
Oh, what was that video called?
So what is it? Is it like? I guess it says
so. It's a gin. Your
Mm-hmm.
Country Club Adjacent was the.
Oh yes,
Was the
those guys. They're fucking hilarious.
They're fucking hilarious. And the video I first saw of them was mushrooms versus alcohol versus weed. And the dude that was drinking was just pounding long drinks, and it's all they ever have. And so eventually I was like, I'm trying it. These guys are just throwing these things down. I'm trying it.
So it's basically like a gin and tonic kind of. Maybe a little.
So let me find a normal one here. I have regular, zero sugar, and cranberry. Apparently the zero sugar, according to the lady, is the most balanced in her opinion. It's her favorite. I've never had the zero sugar. Okay, here's a normal one. Gin with natural grapefruit and juniper berry flavors. All of them have juniper berry. Zero cal, gin with natural grapefruit, juniper berry, artificial sweeteners. And cranberries, obviously, with cranberry. Natural cranberry. Colored with elderberry. we're gonna start with just the good old regular normal long drink.
Let me know how they are. I guess you've had them before.
Oh, I've had the normal ones. They're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
What are you having?
I'm drinking another Colorado native. I'm drinking the Cerveza this time. Mexican style lager. The Cerveza.
Cerveza?
No, Cerveza Nativa.
Ah. Native beer.
Yep.
What a name.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's Colorado. What do you expect?
Fair enough.
This one is out of the 4 of the Colorado native beers that came in the variety pack. It's probably my least favorite. It's still good, though. The actual least favorite, so that one comes in 3rd place out of the 4. The absolute least favorite is the fucking IPA. But that's just me. I absolutely hate IPAs. I think they are fucking disgusting. I couldn't even stomach to drink it. I was just like, nope. I had like 2 sips. I'm like, nope, can't fucking do it. Poured it out. Gave away the rest to my uncle. I'm like, nope, not doing it. Not even wasting my time. But no, this is still pretty good. But the Pilsner out of that pack is probably my favorite, and the what's the other one? This is Cerveza, the Pilsner. I can't remember the other one. That's not the IPA. It's the one I had last time. Why can't I fucking remember what it is? Or no, I guess I had the Pilsner last time. No, it was the Amber. Amber's what I had last time. The Amber Ale. Yeah, that one's pretty good.
I've liked all of the amber ales I've tried so far.
I will say
Not that I've had a bunch.
I will say the Colorado Native Amber isn't as good as the like Breckenridge's Amber, but it's still good. But anyway,
Breckenridge Avalanche do be
yeah,
really good.
That stuff's really good. But yeah, anyway, that's what I'm drinking. So,
sorry, I'm texting Cassidy here, I guess. I guess she got bit a bunch of times by a snake at work.
Hopefully not a venomous one.
No, she's fine. She was like, I didn't even feel it the first couple bites. I'm like, well, must not have been a very big snake then.
Just fucking casual. Yeah, I'm going to the hospital. I'm probably going to die.
I was like, how'd that feel? She goes, it kind of just felt like Velcro. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I've heard that several times. That getting bit by a snake is just like kind of having Velcro to your skin.
That's weird. I don't know if I like that. I suppose it's better than it hurting a bunch, like getting stabbed.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't intend on purposely getting bit by a snake, so I don't really want to find out, but it'll probably happen at some point.
I was about to say, I don't intend on it either, but if I get a fucking ball python, I'm going to want to handle it to make it nice so I can just chill with it, and I'm going to get bit at some point.
Get a little nip.
But hopefully I get nipped when it's little, and not when it's big. So then it can't really even nip me anyway.
That's why I like Plo, because for hog noses, their absolute last resort is biting you. They'll fucking first they'll like musk you or whatever, make it smell like shit, so something leaves it alone. If that doesn't work, they'll start playing dead. They'll fucking roll over on their belly and act like they're dead, and even if you flip them back over, they'll just roll back over. It's like, oh yeah, you're so dead. And then, actually, they'll try running away first before they do any of that, obviously. But yeah, and then if the playing dead doesn't work, then they'll finally maybe bite you. They're pretty funny.
See, I don't remember the I don't remember the first part of their name, but it's like it's something Sambo. I don't know if it's Mexican or if it's I don't know. They're fucking goofy looking though. They feel weird. They don't get very big at all. Like maybe maybe like a foot and a half max. And they just look goofy. They look like a tube. Should look it up. I won't look it up. I'll get you the right name.
I like how this podcast has just devolved into a reptile podcast.
You know.
We've talked about it like the last like 3 fucking times.
Kenyan Sandboa. Look that bitch up.
Kenyan sand boa.
They're goofy looking.
They look like a corn snake if it got its head ran over.
That's rude.
They do look pretty fucking goofy. Why are they so
They
thick?
move weird. They feel weird. Like they feel way smoother than a normal snake. And yeah, they're tubes. I don't know why they're so big, round wise, but they
Yeah.
don't get big at all.
They're not
Lengthwise.
long, but they're super girthy.
There's the fun word to describe it. Yours.
Oh boy. Fucking snakes.
Well, I mean, podcast is kind of just the things that are of our interests, and now that I'm with her, reptiles are a part of my interests. So I guess that
Fair enough, fair enough.
somehow they get brought up. We'll see. The long drink, you're not going to be ready for how it tastes.
Does it taste like gin?
It kind of tastes like you're drinking flowers.
Yeah, that's how I describe gin. Super floral.
So the gin is very prevalent in it then.
Interesting.
I can't say I've had enough gin to know what just gin itself tastes like.
I'm gonna have to see if I can find some maybe in like Wichita or something the next time I go, or Kansas City, one of the two.
I mean, I definitely recommend trying it. I wouldn't say it's gonna be like it's a go-to for me, but sometimes it's just like, yeah, alright, kind of want one of those.
I feel like, hence the fucking golf channel being like sponsored by them or whatever. I feel like it'd be a good like disc golf, actual golf drink.
Maybe I don't. Is gin a popular golf drink?
I don't know. I don't know. It just sounds like it'd be something nice and refreshing out on the course besides just a beer. Something a little
I
different.
mean, it's definitely light. It's definitely like light in your stomach. I'll tell you that much. So yeah, if you're doing a bunch of activity, it's not gonna like upset you.
It's not like super sweet where if you have more than one, it'll make you throw up.
No, it's not heavy either.
Yeah, and it's not
It's
like
a little higher in percentage, but
yeah, and then it's not if it's not super heavy like beer. I feel like that'd be like a perfect drink for activities, going and doing things.
they're 5.5% drink. So I mean, they're a tad bit more than your normal beer, but they don't sit in your stomach like a beer does.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of golfing, I bought Cassie her first set of frisbee golf discs. We're gonna start doing that.
Think she'll like that.
She doesn't dislike it. She's done it before. She's just like, I suck really bad at it. I'm like, I don't care if you suck at it. I also suck at it. It's just something fun to go do, you know? So I hope we get into it.
The first step to being somewhat good at something is being very bad at something.
Exactly.
I hated disc golf, despised it. Like, did everything in my power to not have to go disc golfing because my mom would send me with my brother. He went just to get me out of the house. And Tyler was like real into it. And he lived across the street from a course, and I would reluctantly get dragged across every so often. I just fucking hated disc golf. It was the worst sport in my mind until I got somewhat decent at it. Then it became very fun.
I always liked it because I never took it too seriously. It's like, oh, it took me like 47 fucking throws to make that. Whatever. Next hole. As long as you're not like constantly losing discs like in the brush or like in people's backyards or chucking them into water, I feel like, and as long as you don't take it super seriously, it's enjoyable no matter what.
Well, see, I did constantly lose discs, but also back then, I much preferred just staying inside and playing games. That's what I wanted to do with like all of my time. So going out disc golfing didn't really appeal to me at that point in my life. But once I started getting a little better at it, it was also when I was starting to enjoy being out in the real world.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, this kind of slaps. This is all right.
I definitely went through that too. Fucking period of time where she's like, fucking leave me alone. I want to play video games and do nothing else.
Exactly. And I did a couple of days. There was a day I recall playing Civilization Revolution, which is the 360 Xbox 360 version of Civilization. I woke up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. Middle school me. Probably 8th grade. Woke up, played nothing but that game. Took maybe 2 bathroom breaks or something like that. I was probably 3/4 through the through that game's life. Cause you know it's a grand strategy game, kind of like Stellaris. So every game's different. It's not like a campaign.
Yeah.
I was probably 3/4 through it, and my mom comes into my room and goes, "Hey, supper's ready." I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean supper's ready?" What? What time is it? It's like it's 7:30. I'm like, holy shit.
Whoops.
Well, I did nothing but stay in my room all day. That's cool. Went, ate supper, finished it, and went to bed. Wasn't a great life, but hey, it's what I wanted to do at that point.
Yeah. Fair enough. I don't know how many fucking hours I sunk into Halo Reach, like playing with my cousin and stuff. There'd be
It's a great game, though.
entire fucking weekends where you just stay up till 3, 4 a.m. playing fucking Griff Ball or whatever. Go to sleep, wake up at like 9, 10, couple hours of sleep, and just go right back to it, do it over again. It's a good time.
But Reach was like the best Halo, though, so understandable.
A lot of like OG fucking Halo people hate Reach, and I never understood why. I was like, Halo Reach fucking slaps.
I've pretty much only seen love for Halo Reach being like the pinnacle.
This was like back.
Halo.
This was like back when it was like a fairly new game. It's been out for what, like 20 fucking years now.
I guess I did see some of the actual original, like Halo 1, Halo 2 people, even Halo 3 people, getting upset with Reach by letting you have a loadout.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
I don't think it was that bad though. It was basically just selecting your armor ability and whether you wanted a fucking like DMR or a assault rifle.
Well, I mean, armor abilities are a thing that also pissed off a bunch of them.
I didn't have a problem with them. Armor lock was fucking annoying, but other than that, I didn't have a problem with them.
It was super easy to deal with
Oh,
people
it
with
was super
armor
easy
on.
to deal with. It was just fucking annoying. It's not that it was hard to kill the fuckers. It was just kind of annoying, you know.
I don't know. I liked running it and trying to bait people if they're in like a manga or something, trying to have them run me over and just boop armor lock. Have fun dying.
Yeah, that is pretty fun.
I was rarely successful, but the times I was were very funny. But kind of speaking of OG games a bit that have changed, have you heard? Pull it up here. Make sure I get the right name. Put it on my wish list here. Have you heard of a game called Skier Ritual? Skier Ritual?
No.
Because I hadn't either, and it came out on the 18th. Found it yesterday. Sker Ritual. It's just COD Zombies.
Yeah. I have it pulled up at the moment. That just looks like fucking zombies.
It has pretty good reviews, and everybody's just like, finally a fucking Call of Duty, a Nazi zombies that isn't made by fucking Treyarch. Something to give the people what they want without having to wait for Call of Duty to do it and mess it up.
Yeah, wait for Call of Duty to figure their fucking shit out, which they probably never will again.
They're like, this is just good old fashioned fun, really. They're like, it's a bit unpolished. Like, let it cook for a little bit, but in a couple of months, it could be really fleshed out and feel really nice. I guess the biggest complaints from it so far are like the actual FOV with the gun and just a bit how the points work. Like the points aren't quite balanced how they need to be. Like after round 20, you just can't get the end game stuff with points. You just have to get luck of the draw at the mystery box essentially, because you just can't get enough of them. That was loud. Shut up.
It looks
So
pretty neat.
I've been looking at that. I might get it.
Might try that
Looks
out sometime.
it looks a little creepier than Nazi zombies. Like just the aesthetic of it.
They can get away with that though, because they're not marketing it to children, even though Call of Duty says they don't.
Well, Call of Duty has made some genuinely terrifying zombies. Like original Nazi zombies at World at War was fucking disturbing.
Yeah.
Shino Numa had like people screaming and babies crying in the background of the mental wards and stuff like that, and it was a slightly upsetting aesthetic. And that's what got everybody into zombies. Like, whoa, this is kind of creepy. This is cool. And they kind of lost that over the years.
Did you ever get fucking like nightmares from playing zombies too late at night, or just like super creep the fuck out when you were a kid?
Yeah, I did. Because Black Ops 1 was the first zombies I ever played.
Yep, same. It was
And
like,
I was a bit too little at the time.
yeah, same, probably.
So yeah, it creeped me out. I had a few nightmares.
It was like summertime, so like after like 9:30, after the sun's gone, we ain't playing fucking zombies anymore.
It was for some reason, I guess I can understand it. I wasn't allowed to just play Call of Duty. This was probably middle school, early middle school. I mean, it's an M-rated game, so understandable. My dad's reasoning, though, was because it was people. I was killing people. So he'd let me play like Bioshock or Dead Space, which are way more fucked up games than Call of Duty. But it was okay because they weren't people. They were monsters. They were mutants and shit like that.
Fucking aliens.
I could play Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops, the co-op mode, only if I was with my brother. I couldn't play it otherwise. But I could play Nazi zombies. I could play Black Ops 1 Nazi zombies because they were no longer people. They were zombies. And no, I got like I legitimately didn't want to play it sometimes. My brother would be like, "All right, let's play it at like 10 o'clock at night, shut all the lights off." And I just didn't even want to.
Just like, nope. Too fucking scary.
It genuinely spooked me at that point in my life.
No, I got
And it felt colorful.
I got lucky because my parents didn't fucking give a shit what I played. After I convinced them to get me like one M-rated game, I'm pretty sure it was like Halo Reach. They're like, well, everything else can't be much worse than this, except for like Grand Theft Auto and all that. I kind of had to fight for that one, but they're like, whatever. Call of Duty, yeah, sure, fuck it. You already got Halo, why not?
Even though Halo's like the most tame M-rated game there is.
I mean, Call of Duty's not that much worse.
No, but Halo's aliens and shit. You're Call of Duty's people.
Yeah, they didn't care about that stipulation.
So that was my first M-rated game was Halo 3. And my first R-rated movie was Zombieland.
I don't even know what my first R-rated movie was.
Followed by my second R-rated movie, 300.
We watched that shit in school.
We did. But you didn't have your parents sign off on it.
Yeah. We also watched the Romeo and Juliet where you see her titties for like 2 seconds.
Her titties for 2 seconds. Dude, in college, me and Ethan, we had to watch a movie for an English class and do a critique over it. And the movie was American Beauty.
What was it?
American Beauty.
Hmm.
It's a Kevin Spacey movie. It's a little weird. Good movie though. But at the end, you see one of the girls' tatas for a little bit, and the teacher was like, "Now this is gonna happen, but you're all adults, so I don't give a shit. We're watching the movie." We watched it twice in class. And then I think me and Ethan proceeded to watch it like 4 more times out of class.
What the fuck is going on with your mic?
I was adjusting my seat and I'm yawning at the same time, still yawning.
I heard you adjusting your seat. It's just like fucking rumple, 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 rumple with the fucking buzzing in the background.
Oh man, dude, that was probably the longest yawn I've ever had in my life. I had like 4 in a row and it wouldn't stop.
Oh boy.
But any of the hoozles. How was your you done any VR recently?
I've done a little bit. Played the new Beat Saber updates. It came out with like 2 more OSTs since the last time I played.
Yeah, they just put another one out on the 9th.
Yeah, I still haven't hopped back on. VR runs really good on this computer, my new computer though. So I need to play some more of it.
So I was playing a bit of Poker Stars, even though now it's called Vegas Infinite.
Yeah.
I've been watching this guy on YouTube. Vegas Matt is his name. Dude gives me anxiety watching him. He's a slots player. Like that's 95% of his content is slots. And he's just casually on like a Tuesday drops a video and he's like, I found the highest limit slot machine in all over the US. It'll let me spin for $1,250 per spin. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, damn.
And then he's just like, alright, let's do it. And he sits down at this thing, and the video is like almost an hour long, and I'm like, ain't no fucking way. And I watched the video, and I'm just like, my heart hurts watching this dude. Because the machine was just not putting it out. And he's a multimillionaire, so I mean, he doesn't give a shit. But he probably still did at the end of this, because he ended up taking a loss of like $186,000.
Fuck.
And I was like, dude, how the fuck can you just sit there and lose that much money and just decide, yeah, I want to keep going? Because he was down 200 and some. And then he hit some like bonus jackpot thing and it paid out horribly. And so he's still down a shit ton of money.
Has Poker Stars added anything new?
I mean, not really. They changed a few things. Like now, whenever you go up to like your, whatever they call it, the casino floor where it actually has all the games out,
Yeah.
you can just walk between them all. You no longer set the floor itself to be like what stakes you want it to be: low stakes, high stakes, medium stakes. Each table, you get to decide what your stakes are. Since none of those are playing against other people directly, you'll sit down and it'll ask you to buy in. And when you buy in, you get to choose what stakes you're playing with. That way, everybody can play in just one lobby. If you have some dude wanting to bet millions and some dude wanting to bet tens,
Yeah.
you can. I mean, some new slot machines, I guess. There's like 20 different slots now or something like that.
One yeah, I want to play Poker Stars again. The other game I want to play again since they added multiplayer to is Ancient Dungeon.
They did add it's about to come out with the full multiplayer release. It's still
Is it still like
multiplayer, still beta. Right?
beta? Yeah.
I mean, you can play it. Anybody can play it. It's just a little buggy. But it says right here, multiplayer is out very soon.
Yeah.
That's on the 19th.
On the 19th. Yeah. Other than like the games I already own, I really haven't been keeping up with like new VR games that have came out.
Light Brigade's a good one that you should get.
I've looked at that one.
It just had another big update. So they put out 1.0. And then they like didn't fucking do anything. After 1.0 came out, they just like there was just like nothing for months and months and months, and I was like, cool, this is another game that the devs just dropped, put out a couple patches, and then that's just it. There's nothing. Like a year later, update 2.0 comes out with a ton of stuff. And that was on August 31st of last year. And I was like, whoa, okay, I'm going to start playing this again. Then here comes a couple of patches to update 2.0. We go a little while, there hasn't been anything. Until the 18th of this month, which is like 9 months from the first update, or from 2.0. And they drop fucking 3.0. Here's a new class, here's entire new mechanics, here's a new world. And the promise of 4.0 being out before the end of the year.
Damn.
So they just went from doing nothing to being like, all right, we're going to drop a shit ton of updates in a year span.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like VR isn't really progressing that fast. There's not a lot of new stuff coming out for it, at least at regular intervals, and the hardware is kind of the same situation. There's nothing really like super groundbreaking happening, and I feel like nothing super groundbreaking has happened for a while.
Nah, there's some stuff with the tech, with the hardware that's been coming out. I mean, the easiest example, I guess, here is with the Quest 3. They've damn near perfected. Not quite there, but they're getting close to having just no controllers, perfect hand tracking. I got the chance to play with one. Cassidy's sister and brother-in-law bought one for their kids, and he was like, "You know about this stuff, right? Can you help me set it up for him?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can help you set it up for him." And I'm turning on. It's like, "Do you want to do the hand tracking?" And I was like, "For these kids, no, but I'm turning it on for me right now." And it's fucking cool.
It's like the Quest 2 has pretty decent hand tracking, but it's not really supported by a lot of things. A lot of apps. A lot of the apps still require controllers.
Yeah, but like Quest 2 has it, and they improved it massively on the Quest Pro. But the Quest Pro just sucks. So nobody bought it.
Yeah, the Quest Pro was more for like fucking office people than it was for playing games.
Nobody in
and
an
shit.
office is gonna be using a fucking VR headset.
Mark Zuckerberg is. Come on. He's gonna be the only one in the metaverse.
They took that tracking though and put it on the Quest 3 and improved it, and it is mint. But even not even looking at the Quest, even though it's AR instead of VR, they kind of translate with each other. Apple's Vision, the Apple Vision Pro, massive improvement to this technology. It's overpriced to shit, but
it's an Apple product.
Actually looking at what it can do, it's kind of crazy.
It can do a lot of things.
It will be coming to VR.
It can do a lot of the Vision Pro can do a lot of things. The one big thing it can't do is play games very well.
No, but it's not meant for that. That's why it's an AR headset.
Yeah.
But those features will be coming to VR. And I think the Vision Pro will actually do more for VR than anything VR actually has, which is get it into the consumer market.
Simply because it's an Apple product and people love Apple products no matter if they suck or not. If it's made by Apple, people will like it.
It's going to get this kind of product out to the people. We're going to get a ton of feedback on it. It's going to advance things a lot quicker, because right now VR is still kind of on the, what I would say, the bleeding edge. Technology acceptance curve. There we go. So you get the leading edge and the bleeding edge, also called innovators and early adopters. That leading edge, innovator people, those are your first 2.5%. When the technology is super expensive and they just want to be like the elitist people, the first people on everything, they're the ones grabbing that.
Yeah.
Your early adopters, your bleeding edge, which is where I think we are currently, is the next 13.5% of people. And that's when it starts becoming a little more affordable. Maybe you see some ads for stuff, and some more of the general public can get it, but most of the general public is still going to see it as dumb or not for them, and they're not going to take it. And it is still a little pricey at this point. this is where the chart also says these are your tech enthusiasts, these first two people, these first two categories. Then you have the chasm, where if the market doesn't pick up, it drops off forever, and you never see it again. Hopefully, we don't hit that. Hopefully, we get straight past it into your early majority, which is the next 34% of people, and that's your general public. I think with Apple Vision Pro, I think that mixed with Facebook now owning Oculus, they're going to see that. They're going to copy some of that shit. The next generation of VR headsets has to pull a chunk of the general public. If not, it'll probably die out. But if the general public can start to adopt it, it's going to grow a hell of a lot faster. There's going to be more games made for it. AAA companies are going to start making games for it.
Well, I think... I don't know. It just... At least to me, like, even just scrolling through all the, like, popular, like, top seller games on Steam right now, a lot of them have been out for, like, years already. There's nothing on here that's, like, super new. And that kind of has me worried that stuff just isn't getting developed for VR anymore. But
it's not getting developed how it needs to now.
Yeah. And I also think a big reason it's not like caught on super hard to the consumer market is that, one, the lack of like new fresh content to play on there in the game world anyway, and two, that it's more like the utility of it. It's like there's some things you can do in VR that it is like miles better than on monitors, but for the most people, it's going to be cheaper and easier to just go with like a big multi-monitor setup, and that's all they're going to use it for. That's all the utility it had. So I don't know. It needs to find something that it is where it's either cheaper than going that route of like multi-monitor or whatever, or it has to find some niche that it's way better at doing than you can do in just fucking normal in real life.
See, I think the hardest sell, and I have one piece of evidence to back this up, and exactly one piece of evidence, is getting gamers to just stand the fuck up and be on their feet while they're playing games. Spencer, I was trying to sell VR to Spencer, not like get him to buy a headset, but to
sell him on the idea.
Yeah, to sell him on the idea of it, because he got all excited when Half-Life Alyx was announced. He's played all of the Half-Life games, every game Valve has pretty much ever put out. Huge Valve fan. He heard Alyx was getting made, got all excited, saw it was VR, immediately turned angry. And I was like, no, dude, Alyx is one of my favorite games of all time. It is fucking phenomenal. And he's like, it may be, but I'm pissed that you have to have VR to play it, so I'm not going to play it. And I was like, just use my headset. I'll leave my computer set up out in the living room. Play Alyx. I'll give you the password. I'll give you everything. Just play it through. And you'll see this game could not have been done like this. Like, the only way this game works like this is because it's VR. So he's wanting just a PC port to it. And I was like, it wouldn't work like that. It
wouldn't work. And that's like the kind of niche I'm talking about, is where like you have to find something where it has to be in VR or it's not going to work anywhere near as well to get that to get more adoption on it.
Yeah, he was just all pissed. He's like, I want to sit down and relax. I want to play games. I want to sit on the couch and play games. I'm like, I understand. Sitting on the couch, the controller is always enjoyable, but you don't notice you're standing when you're really into the game. And you
Shit,
get lost enough in there that you actually think you have fucking legs in the game, and you'll try to kick shit.
half the fucking games have a mode where you can play sitting down.
That too. I don't use those modes. I think that's cheating for
Yeah,
what the VR's used for.
It it breaks immersion for me if I do that. So I always prefer standing up. It's not like fucking standing up's that goddamn hard.
It's not, and it's probably better for you than sitting down at your computer all day.
It's not like you have to like physically sprint around. It's not like you're on a catwalk.
I will say though, speaking of like, the people making games. There's not that many people making games. Not that many new games are coming out. The couple of developers that have made a couple of games so far are making some really good looking ones coming out this year. I've told you about Into the Radius before, yeah.
Yeah.
Super good Chernobyl, or Shadow of Chernobyl type game. Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. The devs cut that game short, what they were wanting to do. Like, it's finished, but they wanted to add a different ending to it because they didn't really like the ending they put. Wanted to flesh it out just a little bit more. But they were like, no, we're just too excited. We're gonna have to end the updates here. Here's one last update that adds a new gun, new stuff to find, fixes a bunch of the issues so that the game is stable. Like, you shouldn't ever crash again. And we're gonna move on to this, Into the Radius 2. Like, the store page is up. Go ahead and check it out. And they put out a gameplay trailer not that long ago. And fuck does it look good. Like, blows Into the Radius 1 just completely out of the water, graphics-wise, mechanics-wise, scary-wise. And it's multiplayer.
That sounds fun.
Like, go look at the early access teaser trailer and tell me that this game does not look fantastic.
I've looked at it before. It does look very good. And that's what still gives me kind of hope that maybe it will like actually catch on, is that the few developers that have put out good games are starting to put out like their
Really
second, third versions of these games, and they have done nothing but improve on them, making them better each and every time.
So yeah, it's a slow crawl for VR to grow and get out there, but I still have hopes. I still have my money on VR being what will eventually be the thing that kind of, I don't know if it'll necessarily replace the market, but have a big enough share in the market, kind of like the Nintendo Switch does. It's not the biggest market out there, it's Xbox and PlayStation. But a good enough chunk that everybody knows what it is. And it'll be the technology that we see grow from its invention to its perfection. Really hopeful on that.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm 60 when they come out with like full body immersion type stuff. I want it.
I also like that gorilla tag on here is classified as psychological horror. Just gonna point that out.
That is pretty good.
Completely off topic, but I just find that funny.
Don't you have to pay for Gorilla Tag now?
Yeah, it's $20. It used to be free.
There's also just random ass games that pop up with no advertisement, no anything for anybody to ever know they exist. And they just happen to be the best game in their category to exist.
That happens in regular games too, non-VR games, but it's just even funnier when it's in VR games.
Like, oof, excuse me. I just found this game. I put it on my wish list. I'm gonna do a little more research over it. But it just looks like somebody else's take at Into the Radius, although much creepier looking, and you have a dog companion with you. It's called Convergence. And it's also this dev's first game. I think this kind of game
Don't
is kind
think
of
I
like,
am looking at the right one.
it's developed by Monkey with a Bomb. CONVRGENCE.
Yeah, that is not the one I pulled up. The one I pulled up is fucking from League of Legends. It's a League of Legends platformer. I don't know what the fuck I found. Here's the one you're talking about.
Yeah. I think this kind of game, it could be done on PC, and it obviously has with like the Stalker games. But I think this kind of game works very well in VR and translates better in VR than it does on PC.
It looks fucking scary.
Yeah, and scary games are so much scarier in VR.
Oh yeah, I know. I watched you guys play fucking Phasmophobia.
And the whole post-apocalyptic thing, building up your stash, doing all your reloading manually, doing your weapon maintenance, everything like that. It just works so well in VR. And it kind of gives you a different sense of dread. On PC, you just hit a button, you see your inventory, and you're like, man, I ain't got shit. In VR, you pull your backpack out, you look at it, it's fucking empty.
You're like,
oh.
Shit.
Because you know you gotta physically face everything. You're not just behind the screen. You're like, yep, I gotta walk all the way across this nuclear wasteland now. Ain't got shit. Not gonna be having a good time. PC, you're like, cool, I might die. In VR, you're like, I'm gonna get the shit scared out of me.
PC, oh no, my character's gonna die. VR, oh, I am going to die.
Dude, Into the Radius legitimately made me just sit in a corner in the game. There were noises happening. I didn't know what they were. I heard the mimics trying to talk, saying that they knew where I was and to show myself and stuff, and I was just like, no, you don't know where I am, and I'm going to keep it that way. I'm sitting in this fucking corner with a sawn-off shotgun pointed at this door frame. You turn the corner and we're both dying.
You know what? I'm good. I ain't gonna...
Cassidy was laughing at me because I'm like, my hands are physically shaking, so my shotgun's physically shaking in the game, and she can see that. She's like, are you good? I'm like, no, this is fucking terrifying.
I am not good. I am fucking scared.
Straight up, not having a good time right now. But that leads to having a good time, because you you finish the game and you're like, man, can't wait to play that again tomorrow. That was scary as shit.
Oh man, I really want to play. I kind of want to get Phasmophobia now. That I can actually
Phasmophobia is so good.
Yeah, like now that I can actually like play it in VR, halfway decent. I don't know. It also, I don't like fucking like super scary games. So I don't know if I would like it or not, but I guess we'll see.
Dude, I'm a bitch when it comes to scary games, but some of my favorite games ever are those scary games. And in VR, I'm even more of a bitch. But when you got all your friends with you, you can laugh at them being bitches while you get your neck snapped.
Yeah. That's why I really like fucking content warning, because it's not like actually scary, it's the funny scary, it's like the shock value.
No, Faz is actually just scary, but
yeah.
It's way less scary when you have friends. And turns way more scary when they're all dead than if you were just playing by yourself.
Understand.
Because you don't know they're all dead. Half the time you do not know that everybody else is dead. So you're still going about your day as you would normal, trying to talk to everyone. You're like, hey, I just found some evidence. And you turn around the corner and you see 2 bodies. You're like, oh, fuck.
It's like, well, that ain't good.
And that immediate heart sink of, shit, I'm the only one left. And I was just making a ton of noise. This thing knows where I am. That's not a fun moment.
Yeah, it's gotta be fucking terrifying.
But everybody else is laughing as they watch you realize this.
I will say it is pretty funny to watch.
So when it happens to you, you're like, this isn't good. I don't want to play this anymore, guys. When it happens to someone else, you're like, fucking nerd.
Just like, look at this scared.
Have fun.
Look at this scared little fucker.
Moments like me, Lucas, and Ethan playing it, all walking out the door. It's me and Lucas first. Ethan's the last one in line. Me and Lucas make it out. Door slams shut because the ghost starts hunting. Locks Ethan inside. He thinks we just shut the door on him. And he's just going... He's like, guys, it's not funny. Let the fucking door open. And we're like, we didn't shut it. Turns around, sees the ghost. The loudest scream I have ever heard this dude produce. But muffled as hell because he's behind the door and the game muffles it. And you just get to see him through the window sprint up the stairs with the ghost and tail. Oh my god, that's one of the funniest moments of games I've ever seen. Would not have been the same not in VR.
That's what I think would make me play it is... Yeah, you might be fucking pissing yourself scared sometimes, but other times you were just gonna be laughing till your fucking sides hurt because of the crazy shit that's going on.
The funniest thing is Ethan lived that. Me and Lucas are still outside, like, bent over, because in real life we're bent over laughing. And he's like, what the fuck was that, guys? We're like, dude, it started hunting. What the hell did you want us to do? Also, you lived?
Fucking hide in the closet.
Oh, and they made the game so much harder.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's got several updates since the last time like I've watched anyone play it.
Dude, several is an understatement. You don't even know when the ghost's hunting half the time anymore. It doesn't
That's fucking...
always shut the front door and lock it.
That's scary.
Your lights and stuff don't start flickering until it gets close to you. So it can start the hunt halfway across the house, and you wouldn't know, and you're still talking, so it knows where you are. Until eventually your stuff starts going off, you're like, oh shit. Which means it's like the next room over. And you don't get all your stuff to start with anymore. You have to level it up. Your thermometer now is literally a handheld mercury thermometer to start with. You have to sit there and wait for it to warm up.
That sounds
Or cool
awful.
off.
That sounds fucking
Yeah.
terrible.
They made it so much harder. Well, what's our time here?
We're at 1 hour and 1 minute.
Well, that's about as close as we can get right there.
Yep.
Well, I think we'll probably end her there. For anybody that made it this far, thanks for listening. We'll
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, 1 second. Anyone who's made it this far, I don't know if you watch these episodes on YouTube or someone else does, but our last episode on YouTube had an audience retention of 1 hour and 15 minutes, and that episode was 1 hour and 15 minutes long. So someone fucking, or several people, I guess, it had a couple of views, was boosting the fucking shit out of our audience retention, so thank you for that. So yes, there might still be someone here.
So everybody that watched the last one watched it all the way through.
Yeah. Or pretty damn close to all the way through, because it said the audience retention was like 1 hour and something, and that video is 1 hour and 15 or something like that.
Well, if any of those people watching are my family, I'm sorry if I swear too much for you. If this is if Wyatt is watching this all the way through, you're a goddamn champ, you fucking pirate. If it's anybody else, I also congratulate you. I don't have a nickname for you yet.
Leave a comment so we know who you are and we can thank you next time. We do appreciate it though. Fucking Mega Man. Thank you, random citizen.
No, that's not Mega Man.
Or
That's
is that not?
it's Markiplier. It's Metro Man. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I think it's
Yeah.
Metro Man. Yeah. Anywho, for whoever's watching, we appreciate it, and we'll catch y'all next Thursday.
Yep. Have a good one, everyone.